Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
And now at 6, a sad update. State police say they found a baby and his mother who were missing, but they say the newborn boy died. Good evening. Thanks for joining us here in the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Sarah Sanchez.
And I'm Brent Harden. Tonight, there are still many unanswered questions as the mother continues to recover from her injuries. Fox 61 is in Washington with the latest on the investigation.
The mother was found on a wooded road in Washington, while the newborn was found in a nearby wood line.
I was kind of surprised and stunned.
A neighbor who didn't want to go on camera says the incident is heartbreaking and terrifying.
I heard early yesterday afternoon that the woman was missing with her baby, so I knew that it was not necessarily such a good situation.
Sunday, Connecticut State Police responded to a missing person report on Brinsmead Road. When they arrived, police determined that Sadie Fleming and her 1-month-old son Hudson were both missing. They say Fleming left her home with the newborn between 12 and 7 in the morning. Police issued a silver alert. They found Sadie Fleming just before 6 Sunday night on a wooded road in Washington. She was taken to the hospital with injuries. Police found Fleming's infant son near the wood line, not far from where they found her. The 1-month-old was taken to the hospital where he was later pronounced dead Monday morning. Police say there is no active threat to the public at this time. Investigators are asking anyone with information on the case to contact the Connecticut State Police Troop L. In Washington, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
Thank you, Alicia. Right now, the Trump administration's full travel ban on 12 countries and partial ban on 7 is in effect.
So what exactly does it mean and how is it impacting us in Connecticut? Fox 61's Emma Wolforst is in Hartford with more.
Well, the White House says this is due to national security concerns and is meant to prevent terrorism in the U.S. But advocacy groups here in Connecticut tell me they're already seeing the impacts of this ban.
It's just horrible.
Integrated Refugee and Immigrant Services, known as IRIS, is a nonprofit organization that helps refugees and other displaced people establish new lives in Connecticut. Last year, 3 of the top 5 countries of origin for refugees admitted to America were Afghanistan, Myanmar, and Venezuela. People from those 3 countries are now banned from entering the U.S. IRIS Executive Director Maggie Mitchell-Salem says in 2024, IRIS helped 471 people from Afghanistan alone.
We had said that we would resettle that family weeks before the travel ban. And then the travel ban hit and the family was stopped. So we know for a fact that there are refugees that we might even have been able to resettle.
Monday's travel restrictions echo a similar move from President Donald Trump's first term. This ban restricts travel to the U.S. from a total of 19 countries. 12 of those, including Afghanistan, Iran, Libya, and Somalia, are banned outright and deemed very high risk. 7 other countries, such as Venezuela, Cuba, and Laos, have partial restrictions.
The recent terror attack in Boulder, Colorado, has underscored the extreme dangers posed to our country by the entry of foreign nationals who are not properly vetted, as well as those who come here as temporary visitors and overstay their visas. We don't want them.
President Trump referenced the terrorist attack suspect in Boulder, Colorado, in his reasoning for the restrictions. Mohammed Salman is accused of throwing Molotov cocktails at pro-Israel demonstrators, but federal officials say Salman is an Egyptian national who lives in the U.S. illegally. Egypt is not one of the countries included in the travel ban. Tabita Subteo, executive director of Connecticut Students for a Dream, calls the travel ban disappointing.
Why is it that these countries are the ones that are targeted? For me, and I think for lots of immigrants here in the state, we can just conclude that we're just not seen as important. We are not seen as fully human.
The travel ban does include several exemptions for green card holders and those with special immigrant visas, but Subteo and Mitchell-Salem say it's still causing confusion.
There are people who are waiting to be reunified with their families, and this causes chaos. People are not really sure what this means for them. It's rendering people to be without their original legal remedies, and now they have to scramble to try to find solutions. And it's adding insult to injury. I think it really makes people feel as if they're not as important.
As of right now, this travel ban policy does not have an end date. Reporting in Hartford, Emma Wolforst, Fox 61.
It was yet another gloomy day in Connecticut, but is that changing soon? That's what we want to know.
Yeah, we want to hear yes. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank is here with the first check of the forecast. Rach?
It depends on your definition of soon.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is going to be fairly gloomy for at least most of the day, but we do get the sun back out and temperatures are warming up Wednesday and Thursday, so we go from wet to warm as we head through this week. 67 degrees in Hartford with cloudy skies, but it is overcast and foggy. New Haven's in there somewhere. And here's a look at current visibility, which is dropping. It's not pea soup fog, but certainly enough to, again, limit visibility for some. A couple light showers, sprinkles, areas of mist and drizzle out there tonight. That'll be it for tonight, but we'll see more significant showers, downpours, and even thunderstorms off and on as we head through the day tomorrow. So overnight tonight, we drop back near 60 degrees. It'll turn a little bit more humid, and we'll see scattered showers, locally heavier downpours, and even thunderstorms possible as we head through the day tomorrow. I would say late or mid to late afternoon, we might be able to dry things out and even clear things out a little bit as we head towards the end of the day. But if you see some sun, consider it a bonus. Most of the days in the 60s, we might get up near 70 as we head into the early evening. We'll take a look at the warm up that follows. Your full forecast is coming up in just a bit, guys.
Thank you, Rachel. Happening now, the town of Bethany is holding a special meeting focused on appointing an interim first selectman. And take a look at a live shot at the meeting happening right now. It's a hybrid event, so you could also join via Zoom if you'd like to participate remotely. The meeting follows the recent resignation of former First Select Woman Paula Francesco amid calls for accountability. An independent report revealed serious mishandling of multiple sexual abuse allegations involving a former Parks and Recreation employee. Fox 61's Valerie Moravi is in Bethany and will have the latest update tonight on the news at 10. Well, new at 6, Meriden city leaders are speaking out tonight after a high school senior was taken into ICE custody over the weekend.
And here's what we know so far. A Maloney high school senior was detained during an immigration hearing at ICE headquarters in Hartford. Meriden superintendent says the district was not notified by federal immigration officials. The student was expected to graduate tomorrow, and the district says they'll still get their diploma.
Now, in a statement to Fox 61, Mayor Kevin Scarpati and City Council Majority Leader Sonia Jelks said, in part, quote, "On behalf of the family of the detained Meriden student, our community is outraged and working hard to get our Maloney student back to Connecticut." Officials did not identify the student. His attorney asked they maintain anonymity because he is a minor and to protect future legal cases. We'll continue to follow this story and bring you updates as we get them.
Hartford police have arrested a person in connection with the deadly shooting that happened last month. Police say 26-year-old Kevin Cruz Gomez is facing murder charges for the shooting that happened on May 7th. The victim, Jared Floyd, died at the hospital. Cruz Gomez is being held on $2 million bond.
A large fire in Newington this afternoon forced a nearby school into lockdown because of all the smoke. Calls were reported just before 2:30 this afternoon for a car fire on Alumni Road. That's next to the Veterans Hospital and Newington High School. Firefighters say the flames spread to a truck. They were able to put the fire out before it spread to a nearby building. And there's no word right now on what caused the fire in the first place. No one was hurt.
We have an update tonight out of Waterbury. Police have identified the 2 suspects in an armed carjacking investigation that happened last night. Officers say 28-year-old Juwan Butler and 20-year-old Adriana Carrasquillo were arrested after a chase that ended in a crash in Naugatuck. Police recovered a gun and drugs from the vehicle, they say. Butler faces more than a dozen charges like robbery and firearm possession. Carrasquillo is charged with conspiracy to commit robbery and drug offenses.
A Cromwell man claims he panicked after hitting someone with his car and says that's why he drove off afterward. But prosecutors say 22-year-old Juan Pablo Novoa tried to hide what he did by hiding the car. Police say the collision happened on South Main Street in West Hartford early Saturday morning. They say Novoa hit and seriously hurt a man and then drove to his cousin's house and covered the car with a tarp. That's why today Novoa was charged with tampering with physical evidence and other crimes. Novoa's lawyer said his client admitted to driving the car, but says it was his cousin who covered up the car and not Novoa.
New here at 6, a Waterbury-based school bus company has agreed to stop illegal idling and invest in cleaner transportation. All-Star Transportation will purchase 6 electric buses and will upgrade its charging infrastructure. It's costing roughly $2.5 million to do all this. In addition, All-Star will pay $300,000 to support air quality monitoring in Waterbury. The Conservation Law Foundation filed a federal lawsuit over more than 80 violations of anti-idling laws all across several towns. The company transports nearly 47,000 students daily across the state.
And new at 6, a win for protesters here in Hartford. SEIU California President David Huerta has been released from custody. The union leader is out on a $50,000 bond. He was arrested in L.A. while participating in protests against ICE raids. Connecticut protesters demanded his immediate release. At today's demonstration, people accused ICE of tearing apart families, hurting the economy, and harming working people.
Meanwhile, California Governor Gavin Newsom has announced he'll sue President Trump over the federal deployment of National Guard troops to Los Angeles. The troops were sent without Newsom's consent. They're to respond to protests against immigration enforcement. Some of those protests have turned violent. The protests were over recent immigration raids in Southern California. Demonstrators blocked freeways and set self-driving cars on fire. Police responded with tear gas and rubber bullets, and dozens of people were arrested. Newsom condemned the federal action as illegal and a violation of state sovereignty, insisting California had the situation under control. LA's mayor shares those feelings.
What we're seeing in LA is chaos caused by the administration. People should exercise their right to protest. That's their First Amendment right. When this happens, it terrifies people. It sends a sense of fear and chaos in our city.
Well, President Trump defended the deployment today. He says it prevented chaos. The LAPD reported being overwhelmed by violent agitators. This is a rare federal intervention without state approval. In fact, the first in decades.